We are live. Yes. What's up, everybody? I am going to wait just a little bit for some more people to get on. But what this video is going to be about is I am going to cover. There was a lot of news over the weekend after Disney made a whole bunch of announcements for Star Wars and for Marvel and Disney Plus and all that. So I just kind of want to just recap it real quick because it's way too much for me to like make an entire video over. I've got like so many other things I'm working on right now. But I didn't want to leave you guys hanging because I know a couple people were asking me in the comments, like just what I thought about the updates and things like that. So I did want to just at least connect with you all and just kind of talk about many of the updates and news that was released about some of the latest shows and movies and so on and so forth. First things first, I do want you all to know, and I'll link this in the comments. I am doing a giveaway for John Wick, the Blu-ray DVD. All you have to do is really just click on the link, enter, and a couple of you fans will get a chance to win. Once again, like I am super appreciative of all of you that subscribe to my channel, share my posts and videos and all that. So if this is like the least I can do, trust me, I will always try and give something back. What's going on? Just my opinion reviews. I see you. How you all doing? Thank you, thank you. Adil, how you doing? Thank you for joining. So yeah, by all means, after this video, once I'm done going live, I will post the link for the John Wick 3 Blu-ray DVD giveaway. And good luck to all of you, that get a chance to win. So first things first, let's start off with the easy stuff, right? Disney Plus. As if Disney needed to give us any more reason to sign up. I'm getting ready to just give these people my bank account number and be like, look, let's just set up a direct deposit. Let's just make this happen. Disney Plus has got so much stuff that's been announced, it's ridiculous. So I'm ready. So they went ahead and just announced a couple other updates for Disney Plus. And in case you didn't know, Disney Plus is basically the streaming service where you can get a lot of the Marvel, Star Wars, and just original Disney content. And it'll be like their version of Netflix. So we will cover more of that content just a little bit, but just a heads up, they are offering it right now for I believe like $6.99, or if you already have Hulu, I think they're packaging like Hulu, Disney Plus, and ESPN for like $13 or something like that. Like it's something ridiculous. I mean, of course they are gonna raise the prices later, but it's not a bad intro. For as much as people are paying right now for cable or streaming stuff, this isn't that bad. But they did announce that not only is it going to be like $6 or $7, you also get 4 simultaneous streams, so you can watch it upstairs, downstairs, mom, dad, whoever's using it. They are cracking down on password sharing, but whatever, it's a business. You get 4K videos, ultra high D, all that good stuff. You get 7 different user profiles. And I don't even know why they had to announce this, but there will not be any rated R content on Disney Plus. So, PG-13 at most. And that's cool. I mean, I'm signing up. Like, they announced way too many shows for me not to sign up. So I think a lot of people are going to do that. By the way, I think did I post? I think I talked about that in my other videos, but either way, I'll link all that stuff later for many of the other things that are coming in phase 4 and some of these new additional pieces of content too. So first up, let's talk about Star Wars. Obi-Wan Kenobi. Finally, like this is Obi-Wan Kenobi with Ian McGregor coming back has probably been like one of maybe like the only 3 Star Wars stories that I've been actually asking for. I never asked for a solo movie. Never thought that was needed. Just putting that out there. But a Obi-Wan Kenobi, oh yeah, take all my money. I want to know what happened in those, because he had a long time, in his exile. Thank you. That was a win, I think. To have Obi-Wan come back, have Ian McGregor come back and do this role. I think the only other ones I wouldn't mind seeing is maybe like Luke Skywalker, like the Lost Years. You could totally get Sebastian Stan to come in because he looks exactly like Mark Hamill, the young version of him. And maybe like a Knights of the Old Republic or something like that. I mean, those are the only ones I'd really, really want that have not been announced yet anyway. But Obi-Wan Kenobi, I'm so super hyped for that. I think that's going to be really cool, especially if that story is going to, in some way, shape, or form, tie into his arch nemesis, Darth Maul. So I, I think that's got a recipe for some real good stuff. The Mandalorian, in case you guys have seen the trailer, they did release that with some more footage. That looks pretty good. That Mandalorian looks pretty good. From what I see, I believe there was a timeline release or something that's supposed to take place 5 years after Return of the Jedi. Um, hello there. Yes, I see all people joining in. Hello there. um, Mandalorian looks good. I don't believe that's Boba Fett. I think like he actually suffered his fate or whatever from Return of the Jedi. But I am actually interested in what they're going to do with these bounty hunters, because I'm one of those Star Wars movie fans. Like I haven't read all the extended books or comics or anything like that. If it's a movie, I have watched that. I'm like a quarter of the way through the Clone Wars animated series, which is actually pretty good too, by the way. But this Mandalorian looks pretty interesting. It is one of those things where like I'm questioning whether they're gonna have Force users, and I don't even think they need it, but I'm totally down with it regardless. Um, what else did they? So Alan Tudyk, he also went to this Disney Expo, and he announced that they're going to be doing a prequel to Rogue One, and they couldn't release what the title was. So I don't even know what to make of that. Like, did we do we have to keep going back for that? I don't I don't know. I mean, okay, thank you, I guess. Then of course they released new footage. It was a new trailer for the Rise of Skywalker, and you know they just recycled like a whole bunch of footage from all these other Star Wars movies. And of course, like the big thing that's got a lot of people talking is Rey, who who has like the double edged lightsaber, and maybe she's going to the dark side. Okay, first of all, let's be 100% honest here. There were a lot of people that were really pissed off with The Last Jedi. Um, I was not one of them. I actually I like The Last Jedi, and I totally understand why other people didn't like it. Um, I like the fact that it took risks. I like the fact that it tried to be, unpredictable. So originality will always get points in my book. But again, I totally understand some people just didn't like Last Jedi. For them, it ruined the entire franchise for them. Okay, fine. Like that's your opinion. That's cool. I personally think that Rise of the Skywalker is a complete pander job to traditional Star Wars fans. I don't think this movie is going to take any risks. I think it will be the safest Star Wars movie to date. Um, it's like they're rehashing old footage. They're kind of like appealing to like, hey, remember what Star Wars was like, and look at this. And I mean, come on now. Do we really believe that they're going to have Rey go to the dark side? I mean, I feel like this was like a recycling of what happened with the Rogue One trailer, where the girl was like in the dark outfit, and we were like, ooh, maybe she's gonna be on the dark side. No, she was just undercover. So I'm thinking this is just gonna be a force projection. Maybe Kylo's like, hey, look at what it could be like if you were a knight of my republic or something like that. um but I'm not buying it. But yes, the trailer overall I think um was pretty good. I do think that it will be a good movie, just because it panders to the old Star Wars fans. That doesn't mean that it'll be a bad movie. And honestly, that's a business move. Like, you don't want a fractured fan base. You know, nope. You don't want a fractured fan base. You want to unite all the fans, and I think that this is the type of movie to do that. So it's a business move. It is what it is. But anyway, let me know what you guys think about the Star Wars news, the new projects, and all that. Um, because I am curious to see what you all think. I mean, I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna be watching. Like, that, I'm already invested, so it's not like, what am I gonna do, stop watching it? Like, no, I'm gonna watch all of them, and I'm pretty sure it's gonna be good regardless. So let's talk about the Marvel news. I had to write this down because this was a lot of stuff. So Kevin Feige got on stage, and during this Disney Expo, and he started talking about the What If series. The What If series is going to be an animated series on Disney Plus, and what it's going to do is it's going to take moments. I think it's like 23 episodes or something like that, but it's going to take like moments within the MCU history, narrated by the Watcher, who's going to be Jeffrey Wright, and it's going to take like one thing and basically say, like, okay, if this one thing changed, what would happen? I believe that there was some footage released for the one shot, for the What If series, and some of it included like Captain America and the Winter Soldier, Bucky. They were fighting on a train, and apparently, like, Captain America was like a zombie or something. So, a little shout out to the Marvel Zombies comic series, which would be awesome if they actually do. Peggy Carter, one of the things that was talked about was like, maybe she was the one to take the super serum instead of Steve Rogers, and she becomes like Captain Britain. And then I believe the other one was Steve Rogers. Instead of becoming Captain America, he works with Howard Stark, and maybe he becomes like the new Iron Man. And probably with like how the Mark One looked, with Tony coming out the cave and everything. It'll probably have like a look similar to that, I'm assuming. But yeah, that the whole idea of just all these what ifs and stuff, I think it's pretty cool. I think it's pretty interesting. I also think that Marvel will use this as like a testing ground. I think that they're going to kind of do these little what if situations to be like, hey, would you be okay if a woman were Captain Britain? Or just whatever. Like, oh, you guys like the Marvel Zombies? Maybe we'll do something. Like, I just feel like that's what they're doing. It's kind of like what they do with the comic books anyway. So I don't see why they wouldn't use the Disney Plus shows to do very similar things. Um, Next up was Loki. The head writer had gotten up on stage and talked a little bit about the Loki series. Now, I do have a video talking about the Loki series and all that. I'll definitely put a link for that as well. But in this announcement, the writer had said something about how Loki might be making new friends. I believe Tom Hiddleston had said that Loki was gonna have like new foes. So it's kind of like, well, what kind of enemies is Loki gonna make? Like, but this gives me like an interesting idea, because one of the rumors that was going around was that Loki's series is going to directly set up Thor 4, Thor Love and Thunder. Um, and one of the suspicions was that Loki was, because he's in an alternate reality at this time, alternate timeline, he was going to be able to lift Thor's hammer in that reality, do some time jumping into the main MCU timeline, and one way or another, Jane Foster was going to lift the hammer and become the new Thor. Or I'm sorry, she will become Thor, but we will still have two Thors. So don't get that confused. What I find interesting with that is like, okay, this series might be playing off of the Loki solo series where he actually does become a child, or like teen Loki or whatever. And you know I think, if I recall, and feel free to correct me if anyone has actually read up on the Loki individual series. I believe that Loki becomes a kid and he like loses his memory in a sense. So he's kind of like reborn in a sense. So maybe all that vile vitriol that he had from Avengers, in the first movie, maybe he loses that for whatever reason, and he has a time to have the sun shine upon him again, and maybe he becomes good. I mean, because I'm just wondering, like, how else would he be able to wield Thor's hammer in an alternate reality, and he's making new friends and stuff. So I got the feeling that they're about to try and make Loki into a good guy. How do you feel about that? Like, I'm really curious to know, like, do you want to see Loki become a good person? Um, I always like Loki just kind of being ambiguous, morally gray. Like, the way I've always interpreted his character has been he's not good and he's not bad. And he's, as the god of mischief, he literally is just like, okay, wherever, if people are going left, I'm going to go right. If people are going right, I'm going to go left. Just, and usually for self-preservation too. So, mischief. He's just there for mischief. It's not to be evil. It's just he just does what he wants for the fun of it, I guess. But I like a morally ambiguous Loki. I don't really want him to be all bad or all good. Like, I like the fact that he could just play both sides. But it will be kind of interesting to see how else they go about it. Now, there was some more news about Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Now, I will admit, when I first heard about this Disney Plus series, I was kind of like, so, like, ain't nobody trying to come and see Falcon, Winter Soldier, yeah, okay, maybe, but nobody trying to go see Winter Soldier. Like, what, Falcon? But one thing that kind of got me a little interested here. So, I was wondering about the comics, because in the comics, Falcon does become, the new Captain America, and it does take a little bit more of like a socio-political route, and I'm kind of thinking to myself, like, okay, like, Marvel, are you about to get a little political with this? A black man being the face of America? That's interesting. I'm just saying, that's interesting. But in recent interviews, Anthony Mackie has been going around saying, like, I'm not Captain America, I'm the Falcon. And I was like, okay, I wonder if he's doing that for a reason. And it's making me wonder whether he actually will be Captain America or not. And I'm starting to think that he won't be, because there was also news that in addition to Sharon Carter coming back to be in that series, what's this guy's name? Wyatt. Yeah, Wyatt Russell. The actor Wyatt Russell is going to come in, and he's going to be playing the character John Walker. John Walker from the comics, he was U.S. Agent, and U.S. Agent is kind of like the U.S. government's version of Captain America. And I'm wondering if, because of his introduction, are they going to do something where maybe the government makes US agent the new Captain America, instead? And what's interesting about that character is US agent has like a really, let's say, passionate view of patriotism. It's a very interesting view. Where like, America first, America or nothing. Um, yeah, it'll be kind of interesting to see like, are Falcon and Winter Soldier going against him? Um, because there's no Captain America at this point, during this series. So I wonder how they're going to use the U.S. agent, and if they're going to make him the new Captain America, and like see how that unfolds. So it'll be kind of interesting, because that means like, hey, Falcon is not Captain America, and neither is Bucky. So we'll see what happens. What else? I got a movie screening I gotta go to tonight, so I gotta like hurry up and go through this news. Sorry to rush you guys. Ms. Marvel was announced. Um, I believe that was Kamala Khan. So hey, that's great for the Middle Eastern representation. Marvel's obviously all about trying to get characters across the board. Yay for diversity. Um, I believe there's rumors that Captain Marvel might actually make an appearance there. Brie Larson's Captain Marvel, um, which I think is kind of cool because in the comics, she does, like, Ms. Marvel is inspired by Captain Marvel, so like she literally fangirls out and everything. So it's fine. It's cool that they might do that little crossover and everything. I did see that they hired Bisha K. Ali. I had never heard of her before, but I hear that she writes comedy. So I'm assuming that means that Ms. Marvel is also going to be pretty much, a comedy in itself, which, of course, that's that whole Marvel fun thing. So that's great. She-Hulk. She-Hulk is coming. That was also announced. Um, Jennifer Walters, cousin of Bruce Banner. That's going to be very interesting. I'm really interested to see, like, how are they going to deal with her origin? Um, like, you guys let me know. How do you think they're going to deal with her origin? Like, if you're familiar with her origin, like how she became She-Hulk and, the whole gamma radiation thing, you know, um, Rebecca, I see you say who paid off Universal. You know what? I think, and don't quote me on this, but I think that Marvel actually can use Hulk in TV or streaming formats. They just can't do film. They can't do standalone films. So I don't think that they really need Universal's permission to use, and dare I say, maybe even the Hulk for a streaming platform. And actually, that would be kind of cool if like Mark Ruffalo, shows up and everything. But there was no news about like what the She-Hulk show is actually going to be about. My guess is that because she does come from like a legal, she is a lawyer. I'm getting the feeling that it's going to be like Jessica Jones meets Law and Order. So I think that'll be kind of cool. Especially like if you watch Jessica Jones on the Netflix series and everything. I think that'll be kind of interesting, but like you could have a whole bunch of different Marvel characters involved. I wish they would hurry up and get Charlie Cox. Just make him Daredevil again. It's fine. Nobody's gonna care. Like you already got Mahershala Ali to be Blade. Bring in. I want to see Jessica. I want to see Jennifer in a courtroom against Matt Murdock. Come on now. Or even they tag team. I don't care. Like, I just want Daredevil back, and he needs to like just be part of this. I just think that'd be awesome. What else? Oh, okay. So Eternals. The costumes were released. The costumes were shown. They were cool. They were fine, whatever. But Kit Harington, Jon Snow, they finally announced who his character was going to be. He is going to play Dane Whitman, who Dane Whitman in the comics was the Black Knight, which great. Like, I was actually kind of worried about Kit Harington coming back to or coming into the Marvel cinematic universe, because I'm like, what are y'all about? What role are y'all about to give him? Because I can't handle another. Some of these Game of Thrones stars, when they come from Game of Thrones and they come into, we saw what happened with Finn Jones. Oh, Iron Fist. I don't want a repeat of that. But they're making him Black Knight, which is an interesting character. I mean, he's not like a big main player or anything. And it'll be. I think it'll all depend on what time period they make the Eternals. I know the Eternals is supposed to take place, like, it's supposed to be like the earliest in the MCU history. I've heard 5,000 years, something like that. So that'll be kind of interesting. Kit Harington's character, Dane Whitman, depending on how they want to do it, maybe he's, a knight, from the King Arthur's table, whatever they want to do. But I like the fact that they're going to make him a knight, because that's easy. Like, he should have no problems playing a knight in a medieval time setting. That should be easy. You better know something. I'm looking at you, Jon Snow. You better know something when you come to the MCU. And I think he knows how to play the knight, and the Black Knight. So I don't think that'll be an issue for him. And they can always modernize it a little bit. Like, I think in the comics, he went from wielding like the ebony blade to even, because he's also like a scientist or something like that, and he also started wielding like basically a lightsaber. So we'll see what they want to do with that. Let's see what other news we got here. Wakanda forever. Wakanda forever. Forever. Oh my God. Ryan Coogler came on stage May 6th, 2022. 2022, why you gotta tell me this so what time is it? Like, can I like just get put on ice or something and then just wake me up? Just wake me up like a couple months before. Oh my gosh. Like, why we gotta wait so long? That's like 3 years. I'm tired. Oh, come on now. Okay, Wakanda Forever. We don't know anything about the story yet. We just know that Ryan Coogler is coming back. I do appreciate the fact that they are taking this long to get it right, because you got to follow up a whole lot of hype. I love the fact that this is going to be in May. That's going to make cosplaying a whole lot better, because don't nobody want to dress up in February. By the way, for my Chicago peeps, watch party on deck. It's happening. You better believe it. So yes, details coming soon. I am really hoping that Namor is going to be the new villain as well. Namor, if y'all have not read the comics, let me just tell you, Namor and Black Panther, they not cool. I already don't like Namor because I'm a Wakandan, so I don't like Namor myself. But they need to make him the villain. But that's all we got. So Wakanda forever. I can't wait. Okay, so last thing, WandaVision. WandaVision is coming. I was very skeptical about WandaVision when I first heard about it. It was like, oh, it's going to take place in the 1950s. It's going to be like Leave It to Beaver. I don't care. What? Like, is that supposed to attract me to? What's that mean? Like, can I get some story? What's going on? Now, there's been a lot of speculation that WandaVision is going to be a setup for the mutants and maybe the X-Men. Okay, now you have my attention. There have been a lot of theories. I think it's a pretty common theory that What they will do with this is make it a setup, like kind of like in the comics House of M, where but they do a reverse effect in the comics. Wanda goes crazy, and she like basically uses her reality warping powers to get rid of all mutants. In the classic line, no more mutants. And a lot of speculation is that it's going to be the opposite effect. Instead, she will, maybe she does something like more mutants. I don't know. Whatever they want to do. I don't really think that's going to happen, though. I've got my own theory about what I think is going to happen with WandaVision. Um, I'm going to tell you all that it's more of like a story. So like I'd much rather take the time to put it into a video, for a fun little theory or whatever. I don't care if it's right or wrong, but I'll still base it on like some news because another piece of news with this is that WandaVision is going to be setting up Doctor Strange into the multiverse of madness. So one way or another, he's going to be connected to this, or she's going to be connected to him, which will be interesting. I will say that I don't know if you guys saw the concept art that was dropped. If you haven't, or if you aren't, please follow me on Facebook. My Facebook fan page like updates. I go through like the news as quickly as possible on there. That's at Eman's Reviews, or just look up Eman's Movie Reviews on Facebook. Come and join the 133,000 strong folks internationally. Like, we have a lot of fun there. So, if I don't have time to do videos, at the very least, come and follow me on Facebook because it's just fun time over there. But Marvel did release like this concept art for WandaVision, and it showed them like in this 1950s setting in the house and all that. But like if you look at the corner, there's some shadows of like their original comic book costumes. And a lot of people are like, oh, like they're gonna play, that's gonna play to the comics and stuff. But that's not what caught my eye. If you get a chance to see that image, what really caught my eye was the TV. The TV had this interesting red glow going on. It's a lot of information, but I am going to I guess I might as well commit myself to it now since I'm putting myself out there. I'm going to put this into my video theory for WandaVision, but I do think that what they're going to do something, because she does not have reality warping powers in the MCU. In the comics she does. Like she can literally, just like with the reality stone, she could just create a reality if she wants to. But I think in the MCU, because her powers are tied to the Mind Stone, because that's where she got her abilities and stuff from, they're gonna do it differently, and I hope to explain why it's different and how they can kind of do what the comics did in this upcoming video that I'll be doing. So hopefully you all stay tuned for that. But now I'm a little bit more interested. Now I'm a whole lot more interested in what they're going to do with WandaVision, and I think it'll actually be one of the most interesting shows that the MCU has done thus far. Okay, I think I have reached my limit. If you're joining me late, earlier in the video I said that I will be posting a link. I'm doing a John Wick 3 Blu-ray DVD giveaway. Again, that's just a way for me to say thank you for you all, just being subscribed, sharing my videos, commenting, liking, and all that good stuff. I like always really, really appreciate it. And it's like literally the least I can do. So like, please sign up once this video goes live, or once it's done. I will post the link in the description. And yeah, so by all means, let me know what you all think. What news are you most excited about? Like what shows, are you looking forward to? The Star Wars news, the Marvel news, all of it. I mean, I'm here for all of this. But anyway, I've got to head off to a screening. What am I watching? Don't Let Go, something like that. Yeah, that should be an interesting one. Definitely going to do a review for that. So please stay tuned. Appreciate you all. Until next time, I'll see you all later.